What are the mental and emotional factors in visual?
Well, there's this thing called the affective filter. And so and it affects processing. So
it's something in your brain.
It affects your intellectual, mental and emotional processing of information that you're getting. So when anxiety levels are high, processing is mitigated. It's really hard to process things when you are anxious. Best practices for coaches and parents and players is to create the lowest anxiety entry to practice that you can.
A lot of much easier said than done.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Hi, how you doing? Yeah. People come in the court. Hey, come on in. I don't know how many times a first lesson will show up late. And so then they're late for their first lesson. They got to meet, a new weirdo, at a strange place they've never been before, and they're late, and now they're worried about being judged and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm like, so I start them with this. Hi, how you doing? Hey, are you a little wound up? Just calm down. And then remember, attendance is optional, but payment is mandatory, right? So just calm down, slow yourself down, because let's have a really good lesson. Because if you're going like this, it's just not even going to be it won't be a good 45 minutes, and we want to get the most out of it. So as training continues, then coaches who've gained the trust of players can create even higher anxiety situations so that the players can train being calm when the crowd is against them, right? And all these things. So you start, but you want to start with a very welcoming, low-key, easygoing entree, and then you can just slowly ramp up the challenge level, and then find the breaking point and work there to learn the skills of keeping your calm, because calmness, your mental state, has a lot to do with the clarity of how well you're going to see.
Yeah. And I mean, one of the things I want to say is, and kind of highlight, is the fact that you're talking about training high stress situations. We can't expect our kids to go into a tournament and handle the pressure of competition, the pressure of trying to win, the pressure of, outside influences that may be happening around the court, if they haven't properly trained those things ahead of time. And, I can't tell you how many times I've seen it with my own kid where, he wasn't working on those types of things in his training, and then would get into a tournament. And it's that story of, my kid plays so well in practice, and then they get to a tournament and they can't play at all. They look like they've never picked up a racket. Well, it's because they haven't trained these things.
Right. I mean,
you have to train them.
As a high school coach, I would sit in the parking lot and I would wait for my players to be hitting a second serve, and then I would honk the horn.
There you go.
And so they would have to learn how to concentrate. And I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody can serve more than 20% for serves if when their toss goes up, you say monkey. No. So that's when I know people are really ready, is they can pass the monkey test. It takes a certain special trust level to take them through sort of a little role play of being the abusive coach for a little bit, to steal their will, right? So, I mean, I've been known to ask players what's wrong with them,
Yeah.
And they also start laughing because they know I'm not really genuinely, but we do this.
Let me just add something to that, though, Bill. And I am all in favor of that, of creating situations in practice that a player is maybe going to face in competition, and helping them learn how to deal with that. Yeah. However, I will tell you, as the parent sitting on the sideline, you need to tell me you're doing that, because otherwise my stress level is through the roof, right? So
there has to be a social contract established.
Yes.
So,
yes.
My parents are usually pretty entertained because they know what's happening.
Right.
And I'm mostly doing that to teenagers, and it's sort of payback for all that other teenager behavior.
Well,
so,
like I said, if we know the reason behind it,
yes,
all good, right?
Right.
If we're all on the same page. But
that's
if we're
a great point.